Shalom, first and foremost, and we give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles, our great millstone. Salutation to you, Archiums, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yassad, back at you with another lesson, willing to define through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Alright, this lesson, just toward that Bahashem Yahushai, that the spirit just moved me to make a quick lesson upon this, because we just had a Wednesday night class, and before I quench the spirit, I say I will quickly do a video on it, because all we have is the brotherhood, right? Because everyone going through the trials, but we're not alone, because our brothers, the brotherhood, they're going through the same thing basically, but it might be in different forms. Some brothers it's poverty, the eve, we all have demons to fight, our own trials, our own burdens, that the Lord may put us through, right? But we're not in this alone, so we actually have the brotherhood. So I'll read this precept, 1 Peter 5:8 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Because our strength is as strong as the weakest link, So our brothers, we had to constantly to, um, check up on your brother, as the scripture says. I'll bring it out later on. Provoke your brother, you send up send admonition, make sure your brother, we almost there, continue to restore the spiritual, the same words unto your brother, to gain the confidence, because sometimes he actually is get down in the spirit, right? So you have to continue to call up our brother, call our brother, see how we doing, right? Because all we have is really just we brothers in this thing, the scriptures say, we foes could be of our household, because when that time reach, our blood brother, sister, they won't understand what we're going through. They won't be of no help unto us. But we brother that in the same like mind, he's gonna be there for you, right? So verse 9 says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplishing your brethren that are in the world. So just as how you going through it, you are brothers in the same like mind, working out the salvation, fear and trembling, and going through it the same way, So we had to have each other's back, constantly to, keep keep the admonition to your brother. As the scripture say, let's see here. Hebrews 10, chapter 10. Hebrews 10 and verse 23, I will start at. It says, let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. Right, so we ought to hold our belief, to what we was taught, so this year we was taught this doctrine, this way of life. We ought to hold it without wavering, because sometimes the spirits do attack you, you feel alone. Sometimes that old man, sometimes he's trying to rise up. So we ought to keep on the right path, right? Stay in this thing without wavering, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love. So you have to provoke your brother, because he alone here, you're having this thing, your brothers, right? Provoke, because you might see him, acting weird, acting strange, so you had to pull up on him. Hey, we almost right around the corner, look, the prophecy is coming to pass. Hey, now is the time that we just had to be more and more amongst each other, more in the spirit, more in fasting, and I did that thing. I had to point at myself first, because I myself, is spirits, attacking, and I know brothers likewise, same way, going through the same thing, you know. So hey, we just had to pray for each other, and continue to uplift each other in the spirit, with these words, as the scripture says, iron sharpeneth iron. Right, so I'll get the word provoke from the Bible dictionary. Provoke, right? To call into action, to arouse, to excite, to provoke anger or wrath by offensive words or by injury. To provoke, right? To make angry, to offend. Yeah, because sometimes you have to shake up your brother in ways, because sometimes you might find a brother cracking down upon me. Hey, do your videos, he might say it in a harsh way. Hey, you have to shake up yourself, keep in the spirit. Or you have to you to sit for the Lord repeated that. Because that brother care for you, that brother is showing the love for you. And that is love. Because if your brother didn't care for you, he would just leave it to go astray. But the scripture says open rebuke is better than secret love. So if your brother see you go off in a way, and he tell you nothing, then he watching you going down a ditch. That is not being your brother's keeper. So we ought to provoke we brother, make sure he set up, because once we do this, you making sure, that is why the action of the iron sharpening the iron taking place. So I looking up on you, you looking up on me, and we both examining ourselves. So hey, when you see a speck of dust come on me, you making sure I dust that off, and I making sure you dust the speck of dust that fall on you. Let's see, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. So you are to continually be active, amongst the brotherhood, right? Showing that love towards each other, because how shall I say that that hey, let me just get, this is how you know that ye are my disciples. Alright, John 13:35, it said, by this shall all men know what that John 13:35, by this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. And this is important, we have to show that love towards your brother, right? Because you alone gonna know where your brother going through, because you've been amongst him, you're getting to know him, that come like your comrade, your life partner, that is your comrade in this thing. Because we all is make up the body of Yahushua Mashiach, you know. Yahushua being the head of the church. So we all had to, you know, function accordingly. Right? Back at Hebrews 10 and right. Well, that was it on that, you know, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as we see the day approaching. So, hey, we have to constantly be behind nagging the brother, you know, making sure you set yourself in streets, you know, that how we looking upon each other, you know. The book of Galatians, okay, Galatians 6 and 1. It said, Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou be tempted also. So if you see a brother, as I was mentioning earlier on, you know, going off in a certain way, is that your responsibility, you know, to take up after your brother and make sure he's straightened out, you know, because hey, the scriptures say a righteous man falleth 7 times but get back up, you know, roughly paraphrasing. So hey, in this flesh, that subject to vanity, we all fight it, you know, as the apostle Paul say, he see any members, you know, this flesh, you know, warring against the spirit. In him dwelleth no good thing, and same way like mine in us, you know, because this flesh here wasn't designed after righteousness, you know, but it was designed to be after vanity. So hey, sometime you know, we just had to have each other's back, you know. It's a bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahushua. Right? Right. Okay. And the turn that there. Just to bring out Alright, the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 16. I must start. Let's see. Verse 12, Colossians 3:12. It says, Put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. And this is how you had to be towards your brother, you know, because the Lord said to the merciful, He will show mercy to the, you know, etc., you know. Let's say, forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yahushua forgave you, so also do ye. Yeah, the scriptures say, when someone did ask Yahushua, you know, so how much time I'll forgive my brother? The Lord says 70 times 7, you know. Yeah, something to do with that, you know. Yeah, so hey, sometimes brothers might, you know, had a little disagreement whatsoever, but hey, we had to put that behind us, you know. Forgive your brother, because how you would be forgiven from your house if you don't want to forgive your own brother, right? It's and above all, these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness, right? Because hey, charity, you know, it covered sins, right? So that charity towards your brother is important, the brotherhood. And let the peace of Yahweh rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Let the word of Yahushua dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in Psalms, right? And I'll go into that word, bear with me, admonish, to teach, to warn or notify of a fault, to reprove, and love is reproof is love, right? Because the Lord say, um, he 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 chasteneth them that he love, right? Hmm. So it say, teach and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your heart to the Lord. And all songs, all psalms is these scriptures, these words, Yeah. That is how we admonish each other, and that is how the iron sharpening iron, with these words, right? Because the scripture speaks about um com the comfort within the words now. Let's see if I get that one where it say comfort one another with these words. Great man. First Thessalonians 4:18 it says, wherefore comfort one another with these words. Yeah, so that we ought to do. This is how we restore back, we brother, and hey, all of us around the world, in the like mind, strife, and this thing going through the same thing. So you're not alone in this. Yeah, your brother, yeah, Obashim, at your side. So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. All praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone. Salutation to you, Archeums, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Until the next one, Shalom.